Someone asked me to make a video about a build for Thunder Spears, and since they asked politely, I decided to do it for them. I also got asked to make a video about an ODM build, but I decided I'd do that one after the Thunder Spear one. Unlike usual, we're not starting off by talking about perks. We're instead going to be talking about the skills that you should have, and that you probably will get because it's straight down the middle. Now, Thunder Spears, unlike ODM, has ammo. Of course, you could argue ODM has blade durability, but ammo goes way quicker than your durability ever will. You start out, I think, with only about 3 to 4 Thunder Spears, and that's not a lot. You'll run out rather quickly, and you probably will not finish any mission with just that many, unless you get extremely lucky, and if so, please show me a video if you're doing that. Instead, you'll go down the middle and you'll get ammo. There's only 3 of these, but it gives you 2 each, I believe. I know the first one gives you 2, second one gives you 2, and I'm pretty sure the third one gives you 2, or maybe 3. 2. That will save your ass, and also make it where you don't have to refill every 5 seconds. For memories, after images is probably the best, at least the best that I've seen. Explosions create a smaller explosion in their weight, dealing 40% damage, and it has a 4-second cooldown. In case you can't fathom how OP that is, imagine you decide to do a crit build and you have everything you need for it, or if you decide to go full damage. You're already going to do a shitload of damage, especially if you're on a raid, say with Aaron, the armored or female titan. And now, contributing to the mass amounts of damage you would normally do, and now does 40% more damage every 4 seconds. Now we're on to perks, but the first one I want to talk about is unparalleled strength. I don't think this needs an introduction. I've talked about it a handful of times before, and you can see what it does right here. Makes your Thunder Spear damage increase by 15% with no pluses and no upgrades. I think that's pretty good. Of course, there's probably a better thing than it, probably a better legendary, maybe even a better mythic, and for all I know, maybe a better rare. But out of my experience, this is the best thing to have. Second one is Mutation Master, which makes your spear count increase by 2 with no upgrades. There's actually a mythic version of this that's better, but I can't remember the name of it. I used to have it, but when I started going Titan shifting, I traded it off for Founder's Blessing. I slightly regret that. Perfect Form is next, which makes your Thunder Spear damage increase by 7.5%, and you deal maximum damage as long as you have 70% of your maximum speed. This with no upgrades. There actually is another perk, Art of War. I said they don't have it, but it increases your M1 speed by 10% and damage by 40% when fully upgraded. That's also pretty good for Thunder Spears, but sadly, I don't have it. Used to have it, but I traded it off for Perk Form. I slightly regret that as well. Immortal is next, which when using Thunder Spears, this perk is actually pretty important in my opinion, mostly because you might blow yourself up if you're not careful, and that damage reduction is gonna save your ass. Health increases by 115 is also gonna save your ass, and the injury chance decreasing is also gonna help you out a lot. I think at +0, it does about 25% to 20% damage reduction, and around 17 to 18% with the injury chance, and I believe around 100 HP just normally. That's what I think anyway. Out of all the artifacts I have, the only one I have that's good for Thunder Spears is the Lantern, which makes your Thunder Spear damage increase by 10% and light appears around the player. I guess that could be good in the fog. Not to mention, if you also have these good, it can be really good. Thunder Spear damage and damage reduction is what I have, but if you're going full Thunder Spear, then definitely just have both these with Thunder Spears, as close as you can get to the max. Let's take it back to the skill tree. There's something I forgot to mention. I would heavily recommend going down the left side of the tree, mostly because you get conservation. Now, from my understanding, conservation makes it where there's a small chance that you will not waste ammo. Basically, say you shoot a Thunder Spear, and there's about a 5% to 10% chance that the Thunder Spear will not go away and that you'll keep it. That's why I heavily recommend going down here, because there's a handful of conservation that you can find down here, and it can really save your ass last minute. And if you don't know how to get Thunder Spears, just ask me and I'll make a video on that as well. I hope this video helps some of y'all out. Goodbye, Panda Army.